Yo, what's going on with y'all? It's your boy NeoXO coming back at y'all with a Black Clover video talking about the Black Clover chapter 322 spoilers. And I'm excited because I seen them and they fire, bro. We got some revelations in this chapter that we have to get into. I mean, the battle continues. We see some things that nobody was expecting for real. I've been telling y'all, but other than that, let's get right into the video. So one of the coolest reveals in this chapter that I'm gonna start off with is the reveal of the devil that has just been spectating the match between Lucifero and Muriel and the captains. His name is Adramelech. So some people in the community have been predicting that was gonna be his name. That's why I know the Black Clover community like really pays attention to this stuff, especially if you're watching this video, like you're going out of your way to understand more about Black Clover and just sharing like your theories and stuff. So the people who came up with this theory of it being Adramelech, shout out to y'all, because I see that. Like I be doing research too on Black Clover. I just be seeing like people's fan theories, seeing what people have to say, reading the comments and discussions like that, and people have been saying that there's a possibility this could be Adramelech, and it actually is. Now, I don't really know too much about Adramelech, to be honest. I know he's pretty much from demonology. Tabata takes a lot of inspiration from demonology, and so yeah, that's the first thing I wanted to talk about that I thought was cool in this chapter. Like the first reveal that was cool to me, like just his name. I mean, that's just cool to see, because now we could go into Adramelech from demonology, kind of learn more about him, and then we can add more to our fan theories and see where the story leads. Basically like foreshadowing how his character could be. And speaking of his character, we actually do get more of his character in this chapter, kind of more of his personality. We've all been kind of assuming he was going to be like this, and this is kind of confirmation that he actually is like this. But I'm gonna save that for a little bit later. What I want to talk about now is Asta. We got to get back to Asta, because in the last chapter, chapter 321, we see Asta get back up. Mimosa telling him he barely has any mana, he should not be fighting, but he just absolutely feels the need that he has to get up and fight. Of course he's gonna feel this way because he has anti-magic. Now, pivoting into where that ties into this chapter, Nacht comes and meets Asta as he's going toward Lucifero, and he basically says, hey Asta, you're not in any condition to fight. And we already knew this. I mean, if he would have went to Lucifero and tried to fight, he would have got obliterated, let's be honest, because in this chapter we also see Yuno and Muriel fighting alongside of each other, and they're fighting Lucifero, and they even notice themselves. They're like, okay, we're fighting Lucifero and we're not even doing any damage to Lucifero. So Muriel and Yuno are continuing to fight even though they're not doing any damage. And I think that's pretty cool, honestly. I mean, that you guys can really learn something from that. Like, be inspired by that, because like even if you're down and you're losing, that don't mean you have to give up. So I don't know, little stuff like that, like I just take with me, you know, and just learn from that. I mean, you can use that, honestly. But they're continuing to fight and they're not doing anything. So Nacht and Asta are having a little side conversation while the fight is going on, and Nacht's basically saying, okay Asta, you're not in a condition to fight, but I'm gonna help you out, and the reason is we need the anti-magic. That's the only hope of beating Lucifero. Now, I don't know if this is 100% true, but we're just gonna assume it's 100% true, because so far Nacht has been pretty accurate with his statements. I mean, some of the stuff he didn't get quite right, but for the most part, Nacht has been pretty accurate. It's pretty spot on. Like when Nacht says something, he's pretty intelligent. He pretty much knows what's going on, especially when it comes to devils. He has a lot of knowledge on the subject. So I would listen to Nacht then. I would say, yeah, anti-magic's pretty much their only hope at this point. Now that's further solidified in this chapter, because we do have a really nice panel of Asta attacking Lucifero. Now I am going out of order a little bit because the actual chapter didn't release, and this is kind of just spoiler like panels. So one of the panels that I want to talk about is Asta going to attack Lucifero. Now we kind of knew this already, but this is like definitely cemented, because it's like a whole chapter later, and Lucifero's horn still has not grown back. So if you guys thought it was gonna grow back, I think this is pretty much confirmation that it's not. Like Asta cutting Lucifero's horn was permanent damage, and so far that's the only time Lucifero has sustained permanent damage. Like every other time whenever anybody tries to attack Lucifero, the damage just goes away, like, or they don't damage him at all. So Asta, even though he barely got a good hit, that hit is sustained by Lucifero. So there's a panel in this chapter where Lucifero is just honestly just pissed off. He's like, man, where is Asta? I need to get rid of this brat. and he's getting annoyed. He's like, all right, Mirio and Yuno are annoying me. I have to deal with these. They're like flies. I gotta deal with these two people, and I just don't care about them. I want to take care of Asta. So to be honest, that seemed like he's really like obsessing over Asta more than anybody else. Like he really does not care about anybody else, because if you really think about it, other people are attacking him as well, just like Asta did. But he knows that Asta potentially has the power to defeat him because his horn never grew back. So that probably really made him mad, and he just wants to take Asta out as quickly as possible. I'm not gonna say Lucifero is scared or anything, because I don't really think he's scared. However, I think just the fact that somebody is able to damage him, he wants to get rid of that because he doesn't want to be damaged. Now, noticing that he needs to get to Asta, he's like, okay, Adramelech, come take care of Mirio and Yuno. And Adramelech did not even listen. Like I've been saying this, I've been stressing this. The devils have their own motives. Straight up. Magicula did not tell Lucifero. I'm going on a tangent, but y'all just listen to this tangent. Magicula did not tell Lucifero about her plan to manifest. Alright? If they were really loyal to the king of the underworld, which is proclaimed to be Lucifero, she would have told him of the plan. And then Lucifero could have got in on the plan, but she didn't care. She just wanted to manifest for herself. Now we're seeing Adramelech being given an order by the king and not following the order. He's basically saying, nah, I'm gonna pass on that. Whenever Lucifero is telling him to take care of Yuno and Mirio, he's like, nah, I'm straight. And then Lucifero just looks at him, and then he's like, yeah, it's more fun me just sitting here watching. And I gotta give props to that character. Honestly, I like this character. He just chilling. Bro, that's how I be in real life. I just be chilling. This man just like, you know what? I'm not about to go fight. You have fun out there, and I'ma just watch. So I'm messing with him because he's not even doing nothing to the humans. Like we gotta see what he does. He even though he's a devil, he hasn't done anything evil yet. So I'm gonna be like Asta. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. So just because you a devil don't mean you evil. Now this man might be evil. Honestly, he might be evil because like I said, they have their own motives, but we don't know his motive yet. So his motive might be interesting, you know. So I'm gonna be waiting to see that from that character. So we do get back to Nacht and Asta. They try to fight Lucifero, and Nacht has kind of a little highlight in this chapter. He uses Devil Union mode Equus X Candace. So he uses the one that kind of makes him look like a castle, the one that makes him like defensive, and he uses Candace. That's like the one that's kind of has the dogs, like the pack of dogs and those type of K9 type thing. So that's like a combination. It's really cool. I mean, that's a highlight for Nacht, honestly. I mean, that should be a really powerful spell. Now, if it was going against anybody else than Lucifero, I mean, Lucifero, it didn't really do much, and Nacht ended up, it looks like running out of mana or running out of energy because he just couldn't sustain this form for very long, if you ask me. And then I gotta get to it. I've been holding it in. I gotta get to it. Yami come out of nowhere. All right. Yami come out of nowhere. That's my dog, bro. That's my dog. Yami come out of nowhere. I've been saying this too. I'm like, man, because people kept saying Yami gonna die, and I'm like, okay, it's possible Yami could die, but I think it's possible that Yami is gonna fight, and then maybe he still might die. But I think Yami was gonna fight because Yami can't go out like that. Y'all saw that? He can't go out like that. He couldn't go out like that, bro. It's Yami. He could not go out like that. So what's interesting about Yami coming back is Lucifero was basically about to end Nacht's life. Lights was about to be knocked out. No pun intended. But Yami came and saved him. Now the interesting thing is, if you look, you gotta remember, Yami gave Asta his katana, so he didn't really have a katana. But if you look closely at the katana he's holding now, it's made out of like a plant material. So I have two things off the top of my head. It's either Charlotte's Briar magic or William's World Tree magic. I'm hoping it's William's World Tree magic. I think that would be cooler. But I mean, let's be honest. It could be Briar magic too, because we just have the look of it. We don't have anything that is capable of yet. So that's gonna be cool to see. I'm leaning more towards the side of William's World Tree magic, just because I think that would be just cooler, you know. And William and him were down together, so it makes sense if Yami is able to get up, William is able to get up now as well. So it's gonna be really cool, and I'm starting to honestly have more hope for the Clover Kingdom now that Yami is back. Yami just my dog, bro. Like, think about it. Yami really never loses fights. Now y'all probably like, okay, what about Xenon? Xenon snuck up on that boy right after he was already done fighting Dante. And then y'all probably like, okay, Dante was gonna win, but like Dante had some hacks. Come on now. Dante had some hacks. Remember whenever Yami fought Patru? It was over with. You know, Yami just cold, bro. So now that Yami back, I'm having some hope, honestly. A lot of people saying Lucifero ain't no way he could lose. I mean, they got other characters. Even if Lucifero does lose, they got other devils. You know, there's still other devils yet to be explored. But Yami coming back, that's my favorite part of the chapter. I'll probably bring the chapter reviews back soon. Some people have been asking for them again. I'll probably bring them back soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and leave it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. As always, it's been your boy NeoXO, and I'm out.